So now that we actually have the Ascension ability, now that we're actually able to level it up, actually put resources into it, we can now have a pretty good idea, like, kind of like a best practices for that. I mean, we kind of had some ideas before, but now we have a much better idea on how much this kind of stuff is going to cost, right? How many crystals and stuff things cost, like, right? It takes quite a few strength crystals, like these are the first tier. For Aurora, they're the strength crystals. Like, there's 5 tiers, and I think the second, like I said, there's 5 different types of resources for each hero, and there's 5 tiers. So I'm thinking these all took strength crystals. The next tier is going to take a different type of resource. It's either going to be the insignia. It's either going to be the lowest tier insignia or the second tier crystal. But I'm thinking it's probably 1, 3, 5 for crystals and 2, 4 for insignias. I could be wrong, but that's kind of what it's looking like here. But we have this, like I said, so we know that you need a lot of mana. Like, the first tier does take a lot of mana, but I hear that to max out a whole hero, one hero fully, it does take quite a bit of mana. Like, you can probably only, like I said, even if you spend a lot of stuff in here, like, you could get a lot of crystals and stuff here, but you don't get mana from here. So that will limit how much you can do in a single week besides getting guild raids, because you only get mana from guild raids and some quests, like you get mana from the raids. But you also get, like I said, there are some quests this week and stuff that reward a lot of mana, which is how we're able to actually level some of this stuff up. But because of, like, crystals are kind of rare, like, there's not a lot, like, so there's 3 types of crystals. There's strength, intelligence, and agility. Kind of like how with you, this is true with a lot of things. I kind of think you're going to be best served if you take, like, you kind of focus on 3 heroes, 1 of each crystal type. You'll take like I said, so generally I talk about the Holy Trinity, how I say Aurora, Celeste, and Sebastian, best 3 heroes in the game. Like, that's still true, and if what works is that Aurora's strength hero, Celeste is a intelligence hero, and Sebastian's an agility hero, so they actually use different types of crystals. They're also different classes, so Aurora being a tank, Celeste being a mage, Sebastian being a support. They are going to use completely different resources. So this will actually, is like I said, the kind of like the main 3. These are the ones I'm going to be focusing on. These are ones I recommend everybody has. Like, these are good ones for everyone to focus on, just because they are quite literally the best 3 heroes in the game. And I don't think you will hurt yourself by focusing on these ones first. Like I said, that's kind of my recommendation. You definitely want to pick 1 hero of each main stat type. So you don't want to do a bunch of, like, 3 intelligence heroes or whatever. First off, like, you don't want to do large crystal Celeste. That would be kind of bad, because then you'd really be hurting for those intelligence crystals early on. Like, later on, once you've kind of got, like, Celeste up to, like, tier 2 or 3, and you don't need, like, the intelligence crystals, the very low ones, so you can start going into a second one. But I do recommend kind of distributing it, and when you're buying stuff, like, right, so I have these, so I have some intelligence crystals here. That's an armor penetration. This one is critical. You actually have to buy all of the tier before you can unlock the next one, though. Even though the path's open, it says you have to enchant the previous ghost source. So you do have to complete all of these, which I think is kind of counterintuitive. Because I think it'd just be more streamlined if you could just follow the path and just kind of, like, you know, because I feel like this presentation's a bit weird. Like, why do you have this weird path theme here if you have to unlock all these before the next one unlocks? I don't know. I kind of feel like it's a weird design, but it is what it is. But so I could choose. I have enough crystals to do either of these, but I can't do both of them right now. So we'll take the armor penetration, which is that Sebastian actually does not have natural armor penetration. Right, he doesn't have, like, a lot of armor penetration naturally. It's like, so if you go to Sebastian, check his stats. His armor penetration, 5,540. That is not a lot of armor penetration. And most of that comes from like I said, he's just not a hero with a lot of armor penetration. That's kind of like his theme. He has very little. So giving him that armor penetration is something that will help his default stats. The other thing you do is, you get these crystals when you have leveled stuff up. Like, so Celeste, I have some stuff for Celeste here. You could do health. I think we could actually do these two here. We could do magic attack, which is of course going to be priority for Celeste. Go do magic attack, which opens this one up. No, we don't have that many crystals. We do have 100 here, so we can actually do the armor. Do that here. Boom. And so these crystals, these are actually what you use in the Great Tree of Wisdom. I've mentioned this in other videos, but now that we can actually show you. So Great Tree of Wisdom, right? There's different branches for different roles. Like I was focused on tank because Aurora's kind of like always been my main carry. And Aurora could benefit from most of these stats. Health and magic attack. It looks like there's a lot more physical attack, magic attack tank role though. That's kind of disappointing because she could definitely want more, but maybe that's a balancing because Aurora is kind of OP. But yeah, like if you do, this one's 150, the next one, so I can't level another role in the tank, but each is, like I said, up to, like, I don't know if I want to do a whole lot into some of these roles, but we can do this one here in the mage, but then the next one's health, and it's one of those things as mages, I don't really like to put a lot of health into, like, Lars, because I already feel like Lars has too much health. Like, I can't undo his health glyph, which I invested in, which I feel like is a major problem. Like, I've done videos about this. Like, this game's energy system kind of rewards you for having lower health on your DPS heroes, so I kind of feel like, tanks you can put health in all day, supports, these heroes don't really mind having more health, these heroes are fine with more health, but like your damage dealers, like, your mages, your marksmen, it's like your warriors, your controlled heroes, like, a lot of these heroes are there for DPS, you kind of want them to be able to use their ult faster, like all these heroes here. Like, even the healers too a little bit, like Maya and Thea, like, I mean, Martha wants more health, but, like, Maya and Thea, like I said, Thea's the other hero I wish I could undo her health glyph on, like, I just rather be able to use their ults faster, so, I don't know, like, how much you want to do these ones, but the tank one is what I'm focused on, because I'm like, you can always want more health on your tank. So that's why I'm focusing there. But, like, that's how that works, and then once you have that, like, where the patronage tab used to be on the hero screen. Like I said, I just clicked on this earlier, but you now have the Ascension tab, which shows you all their stats. So Aurora's gains 5,500 health, 100 magic attack, 60 dodge, and 300 magic penetration from her Ascension. Plus the tank roll, she gets another 9,000 health, 921 physical attack, 292 magic attack, 730 armor, 726 magic defense. Magic defense is kind of a worthless stat on her since she has Rainbow Halo. This gives her best magic mitigation game, but Rainbow Halo, it is based on her health. The more health she has, the more damage that absorbs before exploding. So having higher health does help for Rainbow Halo. But we definitely also like this dodge here. Definitely something we want here. Like, physical attack is also a stat. Like, it's not necessarily best stat. Magic attack's better, but physical attack is kind of underrated because all tanks, this is something that's unique to tanks, all tanks with their basic attack, it does physical PBAOE damage. So if tanks can actually knock over a Martha Teapot if they're close, but because they do PBAOE AOE damage, she's usually hitting 2 heroes at once with this. Like, she'll hit the main tank, the enemy team, and like their second line, the second hero in their line. It's not uncommon. And right, with Sebastian, she can actually do critical hits with those hits, and Sebastian will do pure damage on those crits, etc. Like I said, she can actually do pretty decent physical damage. I mean, especially like if you're using Isaac or something that gives her armor penetration, she'll actually do okay damage with these hits. So more physical attack, not necessarily a bad thing, not the greatest thing, but it does add up. So we did Celeste. We got some magic penetration here, armor, magic attack, intelligence. Like, those are all good for her. Sebastian, physical attack, armor pen, health, agility, physical attack. Physical attack's the big one because that's what his public idol's on. Like I said, the support branch, like I said, you could probably put a bunch into. Don't think that will hurt him too much. But yeah, like, so I just really kind of recommend just kind of focus on like your main 3. Try to focus on one hero of each main stat type, right? His agility, Celeste is an intelligence, Aurora is a strength, which will distribute your crystals better. The fact that they're also different class types also lets you distribute insignias better. But yeah, like, that's what I recommend. Anyway, I hope you guys found this video informative. Thank you for watching.